when the foundation is love. Meaning, when you are pursuing anything in your life that stems from love, right? And is like you really care about it. It really matters to you. It will create a different level of fortitude, perseverance, resilience. It's not the length of life, it's the depth. Where there's more depth, there's more meaning. If your whole life is about tasks and completion and accomplishment and schedules, it's not a juicy life. If I could assign one word to my life, like what kind of life do you want to live? It's a delicious life. Real talk, real wisdom. All heart, all in. This is The Roxanne Show. In today's episode of The Roxanne Show, I am going to be sharing a couple of different stories, experiences, some fun, thought-provoking ideas that have come up in the last couple of weeks of my life. You know, I've been really pulling on this thread of, at the end of every week, and this could be something great for you guys to do too. I mean, I plan to utilize it for podcast episodes moving forward, but just reflecting on things that have happened in the week. I write, obviously, I journal. So there's always a recording of my life happening, but this is a very intentional, unique moment of writing where I'm actually going through sort of like the files of, you know, the last week and writing out like what made me feel, what moved me, what made me think maybe differently, what challenged me, what did I conquer, or maybe there's an abstract moment or something really pivotal that I want to make sure that I capture, right? And what I am doing for the episode is because I have a list here, right, of some of these experiences for me. And because of the way that I'm a very deep thinker, I'm a very deep feeler. I philosophize with life. It's just who I am and how I've been always. You know, I think very sensorially. I think very non-linearly. And I sort of have this filter on life that's more of a kaleidoscope versus this, you know, pinhole sort of view. So my aperture is really big and very dimensional. So I say that because what may seem like a basic story, oh, this happened and that was the result. For me, in my world, in my mind, in my, you know, spirit, the way that I absorb life, it's usually a lot more than that. And that's why, you know, the podcast, I can share things on a very deep level. I can pull on threads that maybe most people would pass by. But for me, I can sort of see the sort of like, I can find the diamond in the coal, right? And so one of the first things I want to share with you is this story that I'll call She Came Back to Life. And this is a story of one of my plants. So I am a plant mama. You know, just in the last 5 years of my life, I became a real plant mama. You know, I have a coven at home. They're all girls, with the exception of 2. I have 5. They are named after goddesses. And the other 2 names are also very sacred and special to me as well. These plants are my babies. I mean, they are literally life force. And it's so much more than just having greenery. They're not decoration in my home. They are actually forces of life. And I treat them that way. And I feel their love for me. And as funny as that might sound, probably not to a lot of you who take care of plants, but it's just, it's a truth for me, right? So she came back to life. I go on an unexpected extended trip. I was on a trip and I extended it unexpectedly. So I always water my plants. And when I know that I'm going to leave for a longer period of time, I have a whole setup that allows for them to water themselves. And I come back and my new girl, so I just bought her on my birthday. She's an emerald gem, my birthstone, named her after one of my favorite writers of all time, who her writing, Anais, and my writing are very synergistic, and where it's sourced from, like the essence of where Anais wrote from, is why I feel so much resonance on a very soul level with her. And so I named this my new girl, Anais. And I come home and she is just fucking wilted. And when I mean wilted, I'll just show for those of you watching on Spotify or YouTube. I mean, baby girl was down for the count. She looked like she went through the swamps of sadness. If you know the never ending story, fuck yeah. 80s forever. But she looks like she went through the swamps of sadness. And so I immediately dropped my bags and run to her and like the nursing started. So I water her, I speak with her, just expressing so much love and assurance that I'm going to save her, that I'm not going to quit on her, that I know that she can pull through. And all of her sisters had been through some shit, which is the truth. And she's resilient and I love her and I love her. And I kept saying that and I love you and I know that you can and I'm not going to quit on you. I'm not going to quit on you. And I put her outside. It wasn't blazing hot, but I was able to put her in unfiltered sun. So no windows, and not direct sunlight either, to get her the nutrients from full spectrum light. And then I texted my mom, who's amazing with plants. I was like, do you think I could bring her back to life? And she was like, yes, just water her, make sure she's comfortable where she is. And you'll wake up tomorrow and she'll be saying hello to you. And I had that vision of the next morning, her perked up and my mom's words, she'll saying hello to you. So the vision was now downloaded into my consciousness, and, again, everything for me is deeper, right? Which doesn't mean I'm not lighthearted. Obviously, if you watch the show, I'm, extremely playful with life. But Anais is very meaningful to me. Not only is she my new life force, but spiritually, I mean, this is a plant that I've assigned she's like, Anais co-writes with me. And so, as a writer, I do not want my co-writer, in spirit. Like, I don't want her going away. We've got big things coming out with our writing, especially right now. So for all those reasons, most importantly, I just didn't want my baby girl to die. I kept her in that highest frequency. I kept seeing her saying hello to me the next day. So I watered her again before I went to bed, and I kept speaking with her, literally like holding her and speaking with her. And I really believe that connection and that belief and that persistence, it was like a nutrient for her. Yes, the light. Yes, the water. Absolutely. But I absolutely believe that my love was nourishing to her. And so I go to bed, wake up the next morning, kind of forgot about it for a moment. You're just like waking up. It's like I'm thinking about, okay, let me make my coffee, drink my electrolytes. And once again, if you're not watching this, you might want to on Spotify or YouTube. I wake up, you guys. Just like my mama said, she said hello to me. She is standing straight up, perky, happy. I mean, she's literally got new leaves that are just blooming right now. So this was already over a week ago. My coffee never tasted so fucking good. Like, I was so happy. I was so grateful. And again, because there's so much meaning with Anais. It wasn't just, oh, my plant's alive. I mean, and by the way, this is a night and day, literally night and day difference, right? I mean, she is just vibrating, just so high. And, I thought about how easy it could have been to just say, oh, fuck, she's gone. I mean, once again, let me show you the drama. Most people that aren't plant people, I'll just say, most people would probably throw that plant out. Like, it's a wrap, right? But I was like, fuck that. There's no way I'm going to quit that easy. Not just on her, but on me. And that's what I want to sort of now double click on. It's this idea of fortitude, of perseverance, of resilience, and especially when the foundation is love. Meaning, when you are pursuing anything in your life that stems from love, right? And is like, you really care about it. It really matters to you. It will create a different level of fortitude, perseverance, resilience, so that on the journey, when you find yourself facing all kinds of challenges, and I say all kinds because I really believe that, any great pursuit is going to come with great challenges. And when you really are, and when that pursuit is sourced from love, then you're going to be pulling on a different life force to see yourself through the challenge. And I believe that whatever it is that you're pursuing, if not, sooner, later, most definitely, it will continue. It will show you that love back, right? So thinking about let's just say any kind of career pursuit or whatever kind of pursuit, right? It could be an athletic pursuit, a health pursuit, something that is, you're going to have to go the distance, right? To really accomplish the thing, to actualize a vision. You're going to face challenges. It could just be life kicking your ass one day or whatever. It could be a non-direct challenge, right? From the pursuit. But you have to manage that while also in the pursuit, right? All of that is stressful. It's pressure. It's, it's going to push you around a little bit, right? But the idea of not quitting is so important. And it's so much easier to not even have quitting be a part of your mindset, your perspective, when it's something that you truly, truly care about. And I think that the more that we can create pursuits in our life, whether it's something small or big, where we have that level of care and where it's coming from, this matters to me and I love it. Like it's a heart-led experience, not an ego-led experience. I'm not anti-ego. I think ego has a place. It just can't be in the driver's seat, in my opinion. And I'll speak more about that in another episode. But the more that we can create pursuits in our life that stem from love, that stem from real heart-led love and passion. First of all, I think it's just going to be a lot easier to not quit, but it's going to be so much more fulfilling throughout the whole journey. And especially when you conquer challenges. I mean, again, I said my coffee's never tasted so good because I went to bed and I did have the vision in my mind, right? And I think that's important because I talk about manifesting a lot and it's a big part of my life. And I really went to bed believing, just knowing, hearing that from my mom. I'm like, yeah, she's going to wake up. She's going to be good. She's going to be good. She's going to be good because she's my plant and my plants are resilient because I'm fucking resilient because I don't quit and they're an extension of me. And maybe that's dangerous to kind of assign, some other life, next to yours or with yours rather. And, because if she would have been taken out, then what would that be? How would I feel about that? But that's how much fucking confidence I actually had. I was like, nope, you're not going to die on me. I'm not going to let you die on me. And we're going to do this. We're going to do this. I'm not going to quit on you. And I just think that whole energy of the experience is worth sharing here on the podcast. Can you think about, maybe it's very easy. Maybe you're in the heat right now. Maybe you're the plant, that's fucking going through the swamps of sadness right now and you're like flattened out. And maybe, I don't know, maybe what you need right now is that love that I gave to Anais, right? To giving it to yourself, that reassurance, that resilience. Well, resilience is really a thing where it's like the bounce back, right? It's like how you come out of a challenge, right? So that you can get back into the game. But that fortitude, that just relenting perseverance? Can you somehow encourage yourself? Or maybe this is what the story is doing for you right now. It's offering you that energy to say like, hey, if it, wherever you are, whether it's you feel flattened out because your pursuit or something's not working out or giving you a hard time in your pursuit, if it really means something to you, you don't quit. You just don't. And if it's not that meaningful to you, then that's okay. Then be real with yourself and, get yourself off the hook and maybe let yourself have a moment before you go back to the drawing board and figure out what kind of pursuit you really do want to take on in your life. But the big sort of putting a bow on this is just that when you really are operating any pursuit in your life, the most ideal foundational piece to it is to make sure that it's coming from love, truly. I mean, sometimes, we got to do some shit in life that, might not be that. I'm not talking about that. And I think you're all intelligent enough to know exactly what I'm fucking talking about here. I'm talking about where we really invest our life in, into our energy, our time, our focus, all of that. The more that we're assigning love as the foundational piece that is fueling that process, the better. Not just the better because of outcomes, not just the better because of, we have more attributes that keep us enduring the process, but especially because the whole way through there's meaning. There's meaning. You want a life of meaning? Then create experiences that start from that depth of meaning and then move through it, right? So the win's going to be fucking great. Of course, I'm all about the winning, all about the winning. I want the end result. I want the desired result. I want to actualize, the vision. I want to manifest the vision. I want that too. But what I also want is every step of the journey, I want it to mean a lot to me. Because we never know when we're fucking out of here, right? No, not one of us. But we do know that we have an expiration date. And if I get the chance to review my life before my last breath, the thing that matters the most is how much meaning did you experience in your life? I should say one of the most important things for sure. How much meaning? And so Anais, she came back to life. That story not only is just beautiful for me in my life as a memory. I mean, the plant and I definitely have a stronger connection. She's singing now, but I felt like it was fun and meaningful to share with you. And hopefully, if anything, hopefully just the frequency of the message, the premise was something of an offering for you, whether it's because you're going through it right now or you're going to remember this. And when you do face the heat and the swamps of sadness try to fucking get you, or something you love in your pursuit that, you pull on this thread here, you move into this frequency that I'm sharing with you that says, don't quit. If it matters to you, you don't quit. You don't quit. So that was something that I'll never forget. And hopefully you won't either. Okay, so what else do I got for you? Okay. So this one actually is a cool sort of jump off of where I just was. I just spoke about the more meaning we can have in life, the more fulfilling, right? Like how many more experiences can we create for ourselves that are enriched with meaning? And so I wrote an episode. That's my life. As a writer and a podcaster. Oh my gosh. I wrote an episode. Okay. I wrote an essay on Substack recently called Make Time Your Lover. And it really is, it's done really well on Substack. Plug, if you're not already subscribed to my Substack, there is a link in the show notes, description box. It's my favorite place online. I love it so much. And so, yeah, this essay did really, really well. And the idea behind it was I shared, so the Greeks came up with sort of two ideas around time. You have Kronos and you have Kairos. And Kronos is like this linear, sort of straightforward. It's how we function on a day to day. It's Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 9 to 5. It's that flow, right? And I kind of assign it as the masculine, right? The masculine energy. Nobody's ever done that, or I've never heard anybody do that. But for me, it feels it's the masculine. It's that straight sort of edge, right? Moving in that direction. Whereas Kairos is where time collapses. And you could say when you get into a flow state, you're in Kairos, right? But you're not functioning on Kronos anymore. How I wrote about it in the essay, because it's very poetic the way I shared it, but time melts. Time melts and collapses into the depth of the present moment. And I view Kairos as the feminine, right? So feminine energy, masculine. So one is not better than the other. We need the structure of the masculine. If you just have Kairos, like you're swimming in, sort of fantasy, imaginative, creative land, but you have no structure. You have no way to actually make things happen, to move forward, right? We're just kind of lost in the middle of the sea. Too much Kronos, and you're just living on a schedule and tasks that you need to get done, and just you're not having as much fun in life. And not even just as much fun, but curiosity, exploratory, creativity, imagination. I mean, you're really not tapped into that. You're not tapped into also moments of just pure presence where you can be so deeply connected, not only to yourself or with whoever you may be, but also to like source energy, right? I see Kairos is very much where we get integrated. Like we're always integrated, but like very almost consciously integrated with, the present. And let me give you an example just for fun, right? Kronos had to be here at a certain time, got a certain amount of time at, I'm here recording, and then I get out, and then I go home to dinner, and then I have my wrap out the day, tasks to do, and then I'm in bed. Okay, Kronos by a certain time. Kairos is, when I was watering my plants the other day, and this is actually my home in LA, I'm barefoot. It's the sun's out. I'm on my patio and kind of just getting like mud on my hands and, sand on my feet from just being on the beach, and just I love it so much. It's like I'm so undone in those moments, and just so present, and I had no agenda. I was just there, taking care of my plants over there, just being in the moment. This is like, it was a moment of Kairos. And so when I took us at the end of the Anais story, I said that, for me, I really believe that the more experiences, pursuits that we get to have in life, where meaning is the foundation, right? Love, meaning, depth, the better, right? Because this is how we can really create a fulfilling life, right? Fulfillment isn't just going to be some external, I made that much money, or some kind of, award that I won or whatever. Those things are rad. Fuck, don't get me wrong. I'm all about it. But if your whole life is just that, then there's no heart, soul. Like it's just, it's resume. You've lived a life of a resume. That's cool, but not really, right? We want to taste our life. We want to smell it. We want to just hold on to it. We want to, you know what I mean? Like, this is where we come alive. Like it's that depth. It's one of my favorite Emerson quotes ever. It's not the length of life. It's the depth. Where there's more depth, there's more meaning, right? And the invitation in the essay is just for you to think about how much Kairos are you living with? How many moments, how many pockets of time collapsing experiences are you allowing into your life? You might need more Kronos, I don't know. I think it's the opposite for most of us because we live on Kronos, right? So we're all usually operating from this just got to get it done, A to B, A to Z, hit the target, morning to night. We're moving on that time plane. If you can incorporate more Kairos in your life, where more moments where this is where life sort of takes your breath away and also gives you breath back, right? This is going to not only just feel fucking good, but it's going to create more of a well-rounded experience of meaning, of really wealth. This is also abundance to me. If we're living too much on Kronos and we don't have enough Kairos experiences, then I think it's a very stringent life. I mean, even if you can hear the frequency of these words, one feels yummy, depth, right? Like you just want to fall into it, like it's a plush bed, right? And stringent is very sharp. It's very edgy. I love the word stringent, but I'm saying if your whole life is about tasks and completion and accomplishment and schedules and all, then yeah, it's not a juicy life. I've said this before on the podcast, but it's perfect to insert here. If I could assign one word to my life, like what kind of life do you want to live? It's a delicious life. It's a delicious life. For something to be delicious, I think it incorporates like all the senses too, it tasted good, it smelled good, it felt good going. It's delicious. I want a delicious life. And so I really believe that the more moments of Kairos that you can bring into your week, the more you're going to also experience deliciousness to your life. So maybe this is the invitation that you needed. If you want to go deeper on this idea, definitely go check out the Substack essay. In fact, I'll have a link to this exact essay in the show notes. So you can go there, make sure you subscribe again. I just love Substack so much. And it's fun to share these ideas more in depth and definitely more poetically through my writing than, on the podcast. But I felt like that was I almost felt intuitively like somebody needed to hear that today, to give yourself permission to create more of these moments so that you're not always just rushing and doing and agendaing, that you're just allowing. That the allowing is really the word that goes with Kairos as well. Again, you can, flow state is, I imagine too, we can assign Kairos to that because time collapses. And when you are in a flow state, like when I am writing and I get into a flow state, there is no time. It's gone. I don't even know. I literally come out and I'm like, where did I just flew to Venus and back. Oh, okay, cool. For me, it's not so much of a 5-hour experience per se, because my ass has a quota and it needs to get up and move, because when you move a lot, you need to move a lot. But no, I will go the distance and I will do these long bouts where I just fall into the present moment, into what I'm doing, into writing. And then I come out of it and I'm like, whoa. Song could have been on repeat the whole fucking time. Wouldn't even know, or it could be example again, like just being on my patio, sun kissing my skin, surfing. Oh my gosh. Surfing is where it's time collapses because I'm just in it. I'm so present. So what could you do to give yourself, you don't have to even leave your house. It could be in the kitchen. It could be whatever you need to do. It could be in the fucking bathtub, but just give yourself more Kairos if you need it. And there's probably a good chance that you do, because I think mostly all of us do, because we live so deeply on Kronos. Let Let Kairos be, the lover that comes in and puts more romance in your life. And go read that Substack essay, and then you'll really feel into that energy, the romance about everything I just shared with you. So that was a weird wrap out, and then I'm just going to let that fucking go because this is the Roxanne Show. And that's what I do. I keep it real. Oh, okay. Let me give you one more here. There's so many great happenings. This is also why, honestly, if you take to this just at the end of every week, or as you're going through the week, if something really stands out to you, and you just, put it on your notes, voice note it to yourself. It's so special to be able to record happenings of your life like this and be able to reflect on them and philosophize with them, or just have them, right? It's your one life, baby. Like, make the most out of it. And I think that when we're actually taking time to reflect and to capture on what's happening, we are making more out of it, right? We're assigning more meaning. It's a beautiful experience. Okay. So this is a big one. This is a good one. Celebrating your friends' wins. This is an important one to share because I don't think it's out there that much. I don't think we often hear about, being there for your friends when things are hard and they're, just challenged. And of course, totally. Or are you even a friend? But the celebrating the wins, I don't think is spoken about enough. I don't even know if it's actually a thing that happens as much in friendships. I did an episode a while back now that was about the difference between friendships and teammates. That's a really good one as well. We could put that in the show notes for you too, because while they can seem to be the same, right? Like, well, a teammate, obviously it's more depth, right? It's not to say that friendships aren't as important, but I really do believe that there's a little bit of with a teammate, it's just different. Teammate meaning, I'm not talking about your romantic partner. Of course, hopefully your romantic partner would be a teammate in your life. You guys are partnered and want to kick ass together in life. But I'll just say it like this. My closest are not my friends. They are teammates and I am their teammate. We are in each other's corner. We are fucking doing life together side by side. No, they don't live down the street from me. It's not like, oh, every day we talk. It's not that. That's not what makes us teammates. One of the big threads is which I'm about to unpack here, and there are several, it's how you move through life together, that you are so on each other's team that, their wins are your wins. Like when shit goes down, like you're the first one there. If I enter a room that I think mentioning, my friend, my teammate's name is going to, it's going to do something for them in their life. Like I'm going to fucking bring up their name, right? You have to go back and listen to the episode because I pull on real strong points and in that entire episode. And I want to make sure that I really double click on the celebrating the wins here, because the reason for that is I'll take you to the moment where I recently went to my best friend, Carrie Walsh Jennings, so also my teammate. We actually have several names for each other, but 5-time Olympian, 3-time gold medalist, 1-time bronze medalist, literally one of the most extraordinary humans on the planet. And she's a sister. We're at this event, Title IX Awards, and she's getting this award as a game changer. Truly iconic game changer. And I'm watching like a snap playback of her career and just parts of her life. And her and I have been so close for so long now. I don't know the exact amount of years, but like well over a decade now. And, I always get so emotional. Anything with her, she's just incredible. And I just, to be there with her And to see her get this award, but also just to see her journey. And, I've been a part of a lot of aspects of it. It's not just pride, it's reverence. It's such a deep level of love. And I just love her, and I'm so proud of her and all of her wins. So here's the deal. It's not just the wins that are very visible, right? I have the honor and privilege to see the wins that are like the silent battles that nobody else gets to see, but affect everything out here, right? Any win that my friends or teammates, right? So we'll just say friends for the sake of this story and episode. Because I don't think, here's my point. You don't have to, I think teammates do this naturally. That's why I'm bringing up the whole teammate part. But I believe all friendships should celebrate each other's wins. It's so important. And I don't think it happens enough. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I think whether people want to admit it or not, there's a sense of comfort and security in, are we sort of functioning at the same level? So if you have a friend that maybe just maybe she just hit 7 figures in her business and you're struggling to make the 5 or whatever, just making an example here, it might be hard for you to celebrate her 7, even if you are really happy for her, because you're over here feeling that struggle. And so you can't even help it, but you're like, it creates this sort of spotlight on you. And I think that's what happens a lot with people, is that other people's wins, even if they're your friends, creates a spotlight on you and your life. And that spotlight can sometimes, a lot of times, be shining something on something that doesn't feel good for you. I'm just calling out some shit that I think a lot of people think about, but maybe don't express. But I'm good for that. But it's true, and it's a shame because, man, everyone is working their ass off to get these wins, whatever those wins are, and your friends deserve that love and that support and that encouragement. I mean, I genuinely, with my whole fucking heart and soul, want my friends winning. I'm a winner. I see myself as a winner, even in the territories where certain things that I'm aiming for have yet to show themselves fully to me in form. It doesn't matter. I pursue everything with that winner mindset. So of course I'm going to have friends that are winning. And of course I'm going to fucking celebrate them. I want my friends winning. One of my best friends, Matthew Gottesman, incredible writer, also on Substack, podcaster too. Definitely check him out. Matt Gottesman on Instagram, fucking killer Instagram. The first thing when we got close several years ago, one of the first things I said to him is, I want to see you win. And we talk every day pretty much, but we come back to that statement a lot. For him, that was a really big deal. That was like one of the first things I said. Because I had been watching him and just taking in his work, and this was like our moment where we were getting close. And that was the first thing I was like, I want to see you win. And that was the foundation for the friendship. But that's who I am and how I roll with my friends. And I hope to have that in my friendship teammate circle. I certainly get that back. Why I'm sharing this is because I think it's important. I think more people need to think about this. And if you're not already doing that, like maybe you need to make a phone call after you listen to this to one of your friends and just tell them, hey, I'm really proud of you. Even if it's not about a win, it's just how they fucking show up in life. We're all battling things. We're all challenged by things. We're all, going through shit. And never underestimate the power of your love and your encouragement to your loved ones. Even if it's someone that you talk to every day and you're like, but just hearing words of encouragement, but especially when there is some kind of victory or triumph or anything like that. Like, don't be silent. Don't be fucking silent. Show up and let them know, because I think it's just important for us to have that kind of love in our dynamics, in our relationship dynamics, and that kind of support. It's literally, it's healthy. It's just fucking healthy, and I think it's actually a marker of how healthy your relationship truly is. Like, what's the vitality in this exchange? Because if you have a hard time celebrating your friends' wins, think about why that might be. Because there's probably something there for you to think about and work on for yourself, because it's got to come from some kind of insecurity. And that's worth examining and worth working on. So either you've got some homework to do, or you've got a phone call to make, to let your friend know that they're the shit. Duh, that's why they're your friend. So those were just a couple of things. There's always so much more with me. I have long lists of things that, I intend to unpack and share and philosophize about. But I'd love to know if any of this hit your heart today, if it spoke to you very specifically, maybe right on time. Maybe it was the Anais story that came in and put the fire that you needed, or the water that you needed, to grow you, to get you out of the swamps of sadness. Please let me know. Comment on Spotify if you're watching or listening there. Also, if you'd like a question to be answered in one of my Q&A episodes, you could drop it in Spotify there, or you can DM me, Roxy Look, on Instagram. Also, YouTube as well. Make sure you subscribe. And yeah, so much more coming. I hope that one thing that you really take from today's episode is that it's the Emerson quote. It's not the length of time. It's the depth. Create more moments of Kairos. Pursue things in your life with more love, so that the meaning really is the foundation there, and make sure that you're being that kick-ass friend who celebrates your friends' wins and tells them, as frequently as is needed and organic, authentic, that they're the shit. And you are too. I'll see you on the next one.